Hamas, according to Secretary Blinken, has recruited almost as many new militants as it has lost over the course of this war. Blinken said that this week.
Hamas has been significantly decimated. Its leader, Yahya Sinwar, was killed in October. Without that, we would not be at this deal. Hamas on October 7th was an organized military formation. It invaded Israel with 3,500 troops in military formations, combat brigades. It is now no longer able to do that. It does not have military capacity.
But that argues that Israel has done something that may backfire on them in terms of the humanitarian situation that has allowed Hamas not to lose support, but to continue to recruit.
To get the, I've worked closely with my Israeli colleagues. I've spent hours with Prime Minister Netanyahu. This is a deal that he fully supports. They agree there's a moral debt to these hostages. You have to get them out. And Israel's also going to make sure that it protects its national security. And we're going to make sure we did that. You know, Margaret, we got this deal without that wider Middle East war that everybody was predicting. Americans did not get drawn into a wider Middle East war. We defended Israel from Iranian missiles. We supported Israel going after Hezbollah. We supported Israel going after Hamas. We have defanged Iran's proxy networks around the region. And that led to the isolation of Hamas to actually get this deal today. That's how we got to this point.
Okay, I have for happening again. How much do you think Israel's standing in the world has been damaged by the conduct of its military?
Well, Mark, that was a conversation early on when the debate was whether or not the Israelis should go in on the ground. And we had a debate with them about that. Ultimately, we supported them, and they were right, because Hamas was living in 400 miles of tunnels underneath Gaza. There was no way to root out Hamas without going into Gaza. And frankly,
but you can see
dropping
bombs.
But you can see
buildings.
Hamas. But I'm just going back to what the conversation was about. It was about how this was going to go. And look, we've worked very closely with the Israelis. Too many people have died in this war. That's why we work so hard to get to where we are today with a ceasefire. The ceasefire today, this framework, this roadmap the president laid out in May, was the only way to end the war. And the only way to end the war was, frankly, with massive pressure on Hamas and knocking out the other proxies that were supporting Hamas. I just have to emphasize this again. Yeah. When Hezbollah was firing on Israel every single day, it was Hassan Nasrallah's position that they would not stop shooting at Israel and making northern Israel a no man's land until Israel accepted all of Hamas's terms in Gaza. Israel had to knock out Hezbollah to get this deal. That's what happened with the ceasefire at the end of November. That's what opened up the space to get this deal. It's been a brutal war, but to end it, we had to get the ceasefire deal. And to do that, we had to support Israel and back them up, and we did.
Well, we will see if the ceasefire becomes an end to the war and there's more